Grand Rising. Grand Rising. Thanks for coming through to LRGA Curves this morning. Grand Rising, do you have your coffee? Curvies, do you have your coffee? Are you ready for me this morning? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's see, is there something I can do? No. Okay, Curvies, you know what? I promised you guys you need a live for Real Housewives of Dubai, and I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning. I just could not sleep. It's so hot out here in California. I kind of passed out a little early, and then I decided um, when I got up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, because I've been drinking all this watermelon juice, it keeps you going to the bathroom. And plus, I'm a woman of a certain age. It might be TMI for so early in the morning. But um, what had happened was I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I used the potty. And then I was like, is that my son I hear up? Because, I have a 16-year-old and an 11-year-old. So I was like, is that my son I hear up? And I went in there. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. And sure enough, my son was wide awake, the 16-year-old, of course. And so that was really interesting and fun. He was up doing his thing, but it's summertime, so I'm not really tripping. You know, let's see what's going on. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. So I was just going to do a real quick. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. So I was just going to do a real quick video on Real Housewives of Dubai recap because I know it comes on again tonight. It's going to come on again tonight. So I decided to watch it and get to it. So what had happened was also like last week when we were doing so much stuff about Kenya Moore over here, I'm really like doing a vibe check on myself, you guys. I'm like, what do I want to entertain? What do I not want to entertain? What am I like hoping to gain? And where am I hoping to go on life? So I'm just, trying to be the best person I can be most days and including today. So yeah, I just am really trying to do a vibe check. Like, is this benefiting me? Is it helping my life be better? And so I tried to watch Dubai last week and I kind of ended up not being able to finish it last week. So I finished it for us this morning and we're going to just hurry up and skirt through the whole thingamabob. Let's see. Again, thanks for coming to LRGA Curves. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and ring that bell so you can get notified next time we upload a video. Yeah, and I have that on there because maybe if we go like this. Oh, watch out for that cord, LRGA. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, I am not all presentable and everything, but I feel like you guys like it better when you see the person who you're talking to. There, can you kind of see me? Okay, you guys. So, thanks for coming to LRGA Curves. I got my coffee this morning. Let me clean that up. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see me or not. But here I am. Okay, so let's get at this Real Housewives of Dubai recap. We're going to be finished within a half hour. Like I said, I wasn't able to finish it the first time around, but I decided to go ahead and rewatch it. So it's done. Okay, so it starts with Talene, and she has a workout boot camp, and she was talking about her husband wanting a baby boy. And as it turns out, when you're in Dubai, sometimes the women don't want to work out with men. And so she had started this little boot camp, and then she stopped it. And now she's going to start it again, I guess, now that the cameras are rolling. And then we go over to Caroline's house, Caroline Stansberry, that is. And we get over to Caroline's house, and her house isn't finished. Even though last week we had the party where she was going to be moving out of Michael, her friend's house, into the house that she was having built by herself because Sergio ain't got no money. Um, the house isn't finished yet. So they weren't finished moving and they were trying to get it together. And I do not appreciate when, like, Caroline Stansberry gives me Toya Bush Harris as far as how she disrespects her husband and how he kind of likes it. Like, I'm like, that must be their foreplay, right? Um, because the way Stansberry was yelling at Sergio, you go from like tucking him in your literal pocket to taking him out of your pocket and leaving him covered with lint balls over in the corner and expecting him to know how to survive. Like, that's not fair. You made him like this, Stansberry. You did this to him. And now you're like, you can't do anything without me. Just figure it out. Just figure it out. And she's constantly emasculating that man. And I mean, I know he's much younger than her, but look, the amount of youngness that he is in her is the same amount of youngness that's going to be done with her bossing him around, talking to her like that, which we saw happen when Sergio was trying to talk to her and she ignored Sergio. And then Michael comes in the room, who's her long friend. Um, and Michael comes in the room and asks the same exact question. And she immediately offers an answer to Michael. And so Sergio overhears this and he's like, but I'm your husband. You should have been telling this to me. Is he your husband or am I your husband? I just asked you the same question. And so then Michael's like, I wasn't trying to be your husband. I'm just trying to see how I can help. And Sergio's all coming back in there. He's like, Caroline, I am the man of this house, in Michael's house. He's in another man's house talking about, I am the man of this house. You need to talk to me first. And I get that. I get that. Look, the least you can do is answer the man, even though you're paying all the bills. I have to pay everything because you have to have a job for 3 years. Well, you knew he wasn't working when you married him. And that's what Lisa Milan and them were trying to point out last year was that, oh, really? What team do you play soccer for? Did you ever actually make it off the bench, Sergio? People were asking these questions last year, and Stanberry was making a lot of excuses for her young man. And now this year, she's not making excuses for Sergio. She is berating Sergio and making him aware constantly that she's paying for everything. This is all her shit. Everything is hers. This is her friend's house that they're in. These are her dogs. These are her bags. These are her shoes. Those are her kids. She's having this house built. She's paying the bills. And yeah, I would not like to be in that type of relationship. I mean, all that glitters is not gold. And we have a saying in dominoes that says, all money ain't good money. And those who play dominoes know what that means. But let me just explain it to you guys. So that just means that even though you can make $100 easy, is it really easy if that's the only $100 that you're going to make on the board? So all money ain't good money. So just because you can get 15 when you slam that domino down, if you're not going to be able to make another point later in the game, then was that worth the 10 points then? Who knows? It depends on what kind of strategy you have. Anyway, but Sergio, I can see, and rightfully so, he's not keen on being talked to like that, you know? And then we go over to Lisa and Ion. They're having her teeth checked by a forensic age specialist because the village that she was born in Somalia, I believe, um, Ion, they didn't have records and stuff. And so she was unable to show her birth certificate to prove how old she is to Stansberry, who's convinced and hopes, fingers crossed, that Chanel Ayan, who's much further gorgeous than her, is somehow older than her. And so, also while they were at the forensic dentist, We find out that we're going to be having a queen's dinner. Um, and then Caroline Stansberry and Lisa are waiting for Chanel Ion's age to be revealed. And Stanberry sits down and says, I think that she's older than me. And Lisa says, well, she doesn't look it. And then Caroline Stansberry says, well, you know the saying, talking about black don't crack. Yeah, she knows the saying. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, Stanberry's over Brooks. She says that she's over her, but they can coexist. Ion's missing teeth are fascinating to Stansberry, who it's fascinating to me. I mean, she's from the land of Austin Powers teeth, okay? The London mouths are renowned for the amount of decay and the unalignment going on in a London mouth, in an English mouth. So why she is astonished at the dental standing of Ion's mouth is kind of like, really, bitch? Anyway, um, then we get over to Caroline Brooks, and she's talking to Adam about the party. And Adam's been acting out. He's going to have a 3-tiered cake, though, still, even though Adam is acting out. He's hitting at his mother. That's not okay. He's lashing out at his mother. He's hitting pillows at her, swiping at her. Look, swiper, no swiping, okay? He's like in a double-digit demon season or something. Look, you keep your hands to yourself. You do not get in the habit of striking at your mother. Okay. That is not okay. And Caroline Brooks needs to check that ass instead of laugh about that stuff. You are creating a monster if you allow that behavior to go unchecked, because he's already someplace where men are over women in a certain kind of way. And then you're just going to have him sit up here and lash out at you and just be like, ha, ha, ha. No, no, no. That's called, look, if we was in Oakland with that little boy, he would be snatched up. Okay. Snatched up and corrected. He would have a positive reinforcement for a redirectioning of his acting out. You better keep your hands to yourself. That shit is not funny. I would not be sitting there laughing, looking over to one of the nannies laughing. No, that would never happen. She needs to check Adam, period. I don't care if she wants to, if she has mom guilt or whatever, he needs to get checked. And I think part of his acting out is also because she is not always around, and they used to always be around each other. Mademoiselle is in the house. Right on. Thanks for coming through. We will be putting up a link for a petition for Wendy Williams. We need to have her conservatorship ended, and Mademoiselle sent that over to me, so I'll be sure to share it with everybody. Caroline needs to be careful. Yes, already hitting her. That's not okay. And then how she didn't even really do anything about it. You need to check that behavior right now. I rewatched Not Without My Daughter this past weekend. It's wild. Not Without My Daughter. Is that a good movie? Not Without My Daughter. Not Without My Daughter. I haven't seen it. But I might watch it. Some movies might trigger me, and I can't really do some things sometimes, but I might watch it. So anyway, so then after we get through with the partying thing, she sends Adam over there. And then Brooke's mom, Maria, calls. Maria will be coming to Dubai. She did mention her beef with Stansberry to Maria because Maria's known Brooks and Stansberry to get along for so long. She's like, oh, this too shall pass. And then we have Sarah and her Pakistani friend Saba, who's also her business partner with the Lisp. And then a guy named Akin calls, and that's her 12-pack from Germany, Sarah's 12-pack from Germany. And as it turns out, last week's episode, after Talene tried to fix her up with that dude, who she had no connection to, she was like, well, I do kind of feel a connection to Akin. Maybe I can, see how things go over there. So she decided to kick it up with Akin, and he's going to be coming back for a visit. Plus, he's very easy on the eyes, you guys. Very easy on the eyes. A green-eyed, olive-skinned, beautiful 12-pack of a man. And he seems nice. And he's young. Yes, that is much better a match for Sarah than the guy from last week. So, but Saba says that she needs to interrogate him first. So now we have move-in day. And move into the construction zone. Sergio immediately apologizes for being the man of Michael's house. And it was just a lot of pressure for being there 2 months. And he wasn't trying to talk like that. And then all the kids are there and everything. So as it turns out, in Stansberry's new house, they're going to have, oh, the Sally Field movie, Parisian Man, he was crazy. I wouldn't ruin. Oh, Tubi for free. Oh, yeah, I'll have to watch that. It sounds like it might be old if Sally Field was in it. Wait till you see my Gidget. You want her for your Valentine. You're gonna say she's all that you adore, but stay away. Gidget is spoken for. You're gonna find that Gidget is mine. I'm a little pitchy in the morning, but Sally Field used to be a Gidget back in the day. I loved Gidget too. So then we have move-in day to the construction zone. He apologizes, and I bet he's apologizing because he also sees that he's going to be stepdad to the 3 kids that don't even respect him. They see him as like a new child they have to vie their mother's attention for. So he's direct competition, okay? And after the way that 17-year-old was talking to him last week, unchecked, a lot of checking needs to be happening to these kids over in Dubai. Okay, you can be rich, but you better respect my ass. You better respect the elders up in here. Okay, I mean, a child shall lead them, but you need to rear a child also to make sure that they're respecting situations themselves and people. Okay, that's what I say. So then we have a episode with a scene with Talene and Rafi. Now, Talene, I'm telling you guys, Talene is an op. She's an op. She just wanted to be on TV, so she came in via Brooks, but she really doesn't like Brooks, I guess, because this is episode 3, and it was episode 1. It was evident that Talene wants to wear Stansberry as an ass helmet. It was episode 2 where it was reconfirmed that Talene wants to wear Stansberry as an ass helmet at the expense of her and Brooks' relationship. And now she finally got the ass helmet on her head. This scene at the Queen's dinner when Talene does something. But first, let's see what Talene can do. Well, she was talking to Rafi, who went on a bro dinner with Sergio and some other dude, and there were no women there. So Sergio finally having a moment outside of Stanberry's iron gaze. He's having man talk with men. He's like talking to 2 older men about what's happening in his life. Like I think he was hoping for like maybe some either reassurance or some advice, or maybe just an ear to listen. Now, here in America could come most of the time when men talk, men's business stays men's business. It's called locker room talk. And most of the stuff that's in a locker room, like that's just between men, right? It's rare that a man will take a locker room conversation, a conversation where only men were present, and run back to a woman and gossip about the other men talking. That's some bitch shit to me. That's very Mitchy. Okay, that's very Mitchy, because you know that man came to you and was talking to you man to man. So why you run back to your wife Talene on camera and talk about Sergio coming to you as a man and mentioning, oh, this, and this is going on. Her kids don't respect. This is a normal conversation as far as I'm concerned in America. This would be a normal conversation and nothing to run back to your wife about. As a matter of fact, most men in America would have just been like, oh yeah, my wife does the same thing, and da 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 da. and not ever gone home and ran and told that to their wife. They just need to get it off their chest. Well, Rafi said about the blending families and everything, and that the kids don't respect him. And actually, they did a flash to the conversation he was having, and Sergio looked a little upset, even like, I'm like, oh my goodness, poor Sergio. And so when we get to the Queen's dinner later, where Ayan was on time, she arrived early, and the dinner was set for 7. She sat by herself at the place Beyonce did her concert with her crown on by herself, entertaining herself. Now, I love Chanel Ayan. I love anybody that can entertain themselves and look like freaking royalty doing it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Chanel Ayan for being able to carry a scene all by herself, because that was funny watching her entertain herself while she was waiting on those other ladies to get there. When they did walk in, only a couple got the memo about dress like a queen, and I guess Sarah didn't read her entire invitation, or she needs another problem with Chanel, because she decided that she didn't get the memo about wearing the thing like a queen. And oh, she took this as an opportunity to make another passive aggressive remark about Chanel Ayan needing to upstage everybody. And I feel like Sarah really has an issue with Chanel Ayan, because it's a lot of passive aggressive shade going on from somebody so spiritually inclined, I'm not sure why she's doing that. But everybody looked gorgeous. And then they're in the VVIP area. So now everybody gets to experience the VVIP area. Because in episode 1, Lisa and Chanel Ayan revealed that they were in the VVIP section of the Beyonce concert that was in Dubai, whereas Stansberry was only able to see the sweat upon her brow and she had sweat upon her, but it had to get past a pond to get to her. But the VVIP area is where you get the hug from Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, which Chanel and Lisa got. So that's the VVIP area. Don't be confused, okay? Yeah, and they're finally all part of it. And then they had a Queen's toast. Brooks and Stanberry are at a Cold War. Sarah mentions Avi, the German dude that she's going to be seeing, but only because of somebody brought him up, and she mentions that he's going to be coming for a visit, and we can't wait for that. Oh, I liked when Chanel Ayan said that Brooks is like a hungry hyena, and the only way to make a hungry hyena leave you alone is to be nice to them. So she says very nice compliments to Brooks to get the hyena out of her. Now, here we are. Have you ever seen an ass helmet fitting? Now you have. If you look at episode 3, season 2 on Real Housewives of Dubai, during the last 4 minutes of the episode, you too can learn how to put on an ass helmet and have it properly sized for wearing. So Talene showed us how to put on an ass helmet. And this ass helmet that she decided to wear was Stansberry. Now, I keep talking about this. Caroline Brooks and Talene are friends for 10 years. Caroline Brooks has Talene's back against Caroline Stansberry, who called out and made fun of Caroline Brooks's friend Talene's hoo-ha popping out at the concert, and was not saying it to be nice or funny. And Brooks would definitely know, right? Because she and Stansberry have been friends the longest in this group. So she would definitely know how to take whatever Brooks said. I mean, whatever Stansberry said. So for her to be so upset with Brooks, I feel like Talene might want to just at least check in and be like, well, why are you so mad? And what did she mean something bad by it or something, and explain to her? But we're not getting to see that. What we are getting to see is Talene make every effort in front of Brooks and at the expense of her and Brooks' relationship to somehow fit upon her noggin Caroline Stansberry ass. Okay. Now I already said, I'm not sure why Caroline Stansberry is the ass helmet to wear on this particular franchise. I don't know how the lady from London with her blue eyes and blonde hair got all the way to Dubai in UAE and became queen of everybody in Dubai. Colonizer much? I'm not sure how everybody is supposed to bend the knee to Stansberry while they're in Dubai. But for some reason, Talene is all in on it and she can't wait to bend the knee and put the ass helmet on. So she decides that after praising Stansberry when they were all saying good things about each other's queendom, Talene chose Stansberry to praise and was like, "Oh, you're fabulous. You're fabulous. Everything about you is great. Your farts smell like roses. You have no wrinkles. You're fabulous, mother. You treat your husband with such respect. Oh my God. I'm not even sure how the earth spins without you, darling, darling." It was just so weird to me. I'm like, I'm not sure how you got so close with Stansberry so fast, but yeah. I can see why Brooks is going to end up triggered by this. And Lisa also notices this stuff. Now, Lisa is not a bullshitter, you guys, and she's loyal to a fault, and she'll try to get along with you to try. But if she notices something, she still notices it, and it's not just going to go away, right? So she noticed how Stansberry was last season. And we found out last episode that Stansberry had basically recruited Brooks to be mean to Lisa and Chanel Ayan last season. And then after recruiting her to be mean to them, turned around and decided to be nice to them. So now it just looks like Brooks is ass out, just a mean bitch for no reason. But the only reason Brooks was treating them like that was because of her friendship with Stansberry. And that's not a good look. Look, don't let the devil use you. Just be nice to everybody. Had Brooks not allowed herself to be used by Stansberry, to be mean to Chanel Ayan and Lisa last season, then she wouldn't be in this situation this season where now she's a fourth wheel because Stansberry's plan was to alienate Brooks all along, or else why would you have had her be mean only to run back and be nice? I see you, colonizer. I see it. And that's another note to self. Don't let colonizers use you. Don't let colonizers use you. Be nice to people or be mean to people of your own accord. Don't do it at the behest of another person. Okay? Caroline is one of those women who came from a rich British family and then she married an investment banker who looks Arab. Oh, really? Really? Well, hey, look, it doesn't excuse her behavior or her attitude or her entitlement or nothing like that. Look. So anyway, Talene pulls Stansberry over to the side, only to tell Stansberry everything Rafi told her that Sergio said. And then is going to say Sergio was talking to Rafi and says he feels disrespected by your children. Is everything okay with you and Sergio? You just met this bitch 3 minutes ago and you're asking her about her marriage, like pulling her to the side and asking her about her marriage like this at a queen dinner. Look, whoever Talene's producer is, that's a good producer because she knows how to get this shit started and stir this pot. But again, in real life, I don't know that that's how that exactly would have went down. In real life, I feel like that would have maybe been a phone call and not a conversation at an event where you could upset this person and ruin her night You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to do that at this party? There was a lot of time to do that. But like we're realizing, Talene wants this reality TV. Talene wants it. In my opinion, allegedly, Talene wants this opportunity and is willing to reality TV her way into this position. Okay. So if it means be the bone collector, if it means um, throw your friend of 10 years under the bus, if it means wear another person as an ass helmet who's the arch enemy of the friend who brought you on, whatever it's going to take for you to be someplace, yeah, that's what it's seeming like for Talene, because she sure did run and snitch. She snitched on Sergio. Now, I feel like Sergio's role is under Stansberry's thumb, right? Like, unless and then Stansberry is like, oh, well, I told him he can leave whenever he wants. Whenever he notices I have wrinkles and gray hair, he can just leave. He can just leave. And I'll go get to Sugar Daddy and he can go get a young hot thing. Yeah. Okay. 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 So I don't even feel like Stansberry's in this for anything now other than getting revenge on her husband, her ex-husband, the father of her children, who I don't know what the situation was with that, but it's kind of feeling like he might have left her for a young hot thing. So she went and got a young hot man, and then she married this young hot man, but everybody knows that men mature slower than women. So actually she just got a young hot baby, and now he's not emotionally equivalent to her. And so now she's like treating him like she has buyer's remorse almost, you know? But I did not like that. Poor Sergio. He'll learn. He'll learn. Now Lisa, when they got back to the table, Lisa inquired with Talene, well, what did you guys go whisper about? Now, look, on all reality franchises, whenever two people get up and go whisper in a corner and come back, everybody else at the place usually is like, well, what were you guys talking about? Why couldn't you say it here? What was all that about? So, as much as Talene knows reality TV, I'm not sure why she was pretending to be surprised that Lisa's cue was to try to get it out of her what they were whispering about. Duh. And I agree with Lisa that Talene was being a bitch in that moment because we're at a dinner. Why did you that it's rude to go whisper when you're in a group. It's rude. You didn't get the memo? It's rude, Talene. So yeah, I'm gonna ask you, why did you go whisper with this lady in the corner? And then you're gonna get catty with me? Well, you can just calm down too, bitch. Oh, and then you're gonna sit here and try to to do a counter on how many times I called you bitch, 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 bitch. 4, as it turns out, Talene. And I'll say it again. But then Caroline Brooks, who's loyal to Talene, was like, come on, Lisa, can you stop? And she's like, you need to check your friend, Brooks. You need to check your friend. She's being a bitch. She's being really bitchy right now. And she was. And I feel like later on, hopefully we'll get to see it develop. But Brooks and Lisa are going to end up friends. And just within the last month in real life in 2024, in June 2024, they went to the Jason Derulo concert in Dubai together. And they had the VVI passes. And it was just them two from the cast. Nobody else from the cast was with this group that Caroline Brooks posted, just her and Lisa and some other ladies. So whatever damage we're seeing happen between Talene and Caroline Brooks is kind of real, I think, you guys. Let's see. And yeah, so she was being bitchy. And that was it. That was it. That's all of the Real Housewives of Dubai that we have this morning. You know what else I have this morning? I just downloaded Project 2025, you guys. So we're going to come back and discuss that Project 2025. Probably at 7 a.m. I'll get going on that at 7 a.m. Because I had some requests from the Curvies to go over Project 2025. And after the Supreme Court's decision yesterday to have the president be above the law, basically, I thought no man was above the law, but have the president be above the law. We'll be able to discuss that. And my theory is that all of this leads back to customer service. Around the same time that customer service became an option, I'm feeling like our political system became questionable. So, yeah, the whole thing about we the people and the customer is always right are the same idea to me. And once the customer became wrong, also we the people didn't matter anymore. Yeah, America's in a lot of trouble, girl. A lot of trouble. I don't even know what to do first or next. This shit is playing out in front of me. But you know what? The solace that I have is that I never really bought into these systems. I always felt that they were antiquated and questionable and needed to be redone. So hopefully the trouble is good trouble, where in the long run we'll be better for having gone through this, you know. But that's a hope and a prayer for us. Anyway, God loves us and wants us all to win. Really, the whole world is a mess. Yes, the whole world is a mess. Exactly. But it's also part of the time. Like all of this needs to be revealed, and we all need to agree that all this stuff is and then we can get to these new systems that want to come through because of our new minds and new ways of thinking. Because a lot of the stuff over here is very antiquated, you know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was just a quick thing. Like I said, I couldn't get back to sleep, so I decided to come on these YouTube streets early. Thanks for coming through. Be sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring my bell, ring my bell, so you can get notified when I upload a video, and so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing in the YouTube streets. Okay, I'm waiting for Jesus at this point, right? Yes. And I think I don't know. You think Jesus might already be here? I'm not okay. Yeah, some things are happening. Anyway, you guys, smash the buttons, ring the bell, share the video, and thanks for coming. Keep an eye out, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay? Right on. Happy Wednesday. No, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I haven't finished my coffee yet. I don't know what day it is.